Rebirth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Why is Zeta Flare so important?
It's not that it's important. It's just the most powerful spell that's ever been cast in Final Fantasy history.
How do you quantify that?
By the prefix on the word. So like there's flare, mega flare,
giga flare,
and then it goes higher and higher and higher until you get to Zeta. And the first person to ever cast that was Donald Duck. And since then, there's only been one casting of it.
But isn't there that like
it's a modified
that Clive does as
giga flare? Clive can do giga flare with the Bahamut ability, but he can't get.
But what's the one where he like brings down like the whole like meteor storm or the like? Is that giga flare when he does that huge fire?
Like meteor storm?
I don't know. I thought I remember something.
Well, he can, since he's a freed, he can use Hellfire, which is the giant fireball.
Yeah,
so that's it. That's still not.
That's a relatively weak spell.
What
compared to Zeta Flare?
Well, yeah, like comparatively, yeah. Even like because that's the thing. Bahamut's like always looked at as like one of the like most powerful summons in Final Fantasy like anyway. And so the fact that they're like, we're gonna let Bahamut use Zeta Flare, but after he was juiced up on crystal juice.
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah, he became
Donald Duck can just use it off for it.
Yes, Donald did it, and then we thought, well, died. I like there was a good like split second. I was like, did they just like
kill off Donald?
He did die for a minute, but then they time travel back and save him.
That's true.
How did they save him? With the power of friendship?
Basically,
anything in Kingdom Hearts is power of friendship rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast, everybody. I'm Luke.
I'm BJ.
I'm Matt. I didn't know there was an order.
You always go second.
I was gonna say
that is not true.
I feel like I'm always saying "and I'm BJ" at the end.
Okay.
Or I'm introing.
I was gonna say I feel like it's 9 times out of 10 it's me or BJ, and you are the middle ground of always just say "and I'm Matt" and then "and I'm BJ" or "and I'm Luke." Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't get the memo.
It's fine. We only missed a whole week because you were sick. But, ruined the whole flow. But here we are.
I'm sick like one time and I get shit. When Luke's sick all the fucking time.
Luke is sick like every other week.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, the tip of my penis hurts. I squeeze it too hard and I can't record.
I'm gonna air out my dirty laundry like that. Right?
It's a serious medical condition.
Dude, thanks for making fun of my disease.
You're diseased in the head.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
I have been really looking forward to today because yesterday was rough.
Yeah.
My car's dead. It's dead. It's just
gone.
It's just done. It's over. And that's okay. But I'm just tired of having cars for only 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just need something reliable that I can figure out. So I was dealing with bank stuff, dealership stuff. It just was a mess. Everything I didn't want. I'd be like, if I was dead and with Jesus, I'd be having a way better time than me having dealerships call me at like 8 o'clock. Like, hey, how's it going? You still interested? Do you want to set up an appointment tomorrow?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, Carmen in the background was like, "Oh!" Carmen throws up when she's nervous.
That's her throwing up. Nothing.
I didn't know that for the longest time because I would come home on nights before they would be like going on a trip or something, and I'd hear Carmen going like, "Ugh, ugh." And I was like, God damn, Matt is getting the Glock in there. I didn't know for like 6 months that Carmen just throws up all the time.
Well, when she gets anxious, she just like her just gag reflex just acts out because she'll be like, we're doing something stressful, and then all of a sudden she'll be like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I love just the thought in BJ's mind where he's here and then he's going, let's fucking go, Matt.
I was like, Jesus Christ. That's aggressive.
Good for you, I guess.
Now I know why he's so chill all the time. Damn.
Poor Carmen.
It's like, man, he's got his outlet. Yeah, he's over here like,
I was like, obviously she likes it. She keeps going.
But I was really stoked for today. So,
Hell yeah.
everyone back. So, lots been going on though. You know, we got MTech coming up next week,
Very excited.
and yeah, you know, we've been playing Helldivers, and you've been playing Final Fantasy Rebirth.
a lot of it.
And
I'm about
God, I wish that was me.
He said it's game of the year
Yeah, it's
for
my
him.
game of the year.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. It better fucking be.
Real quick before we go on, what were your when you played Remake? What were like your general complaints? Like you're like, this game's great, but like I wish this was different, or like, oh, this game's great, I wish this was changed.
My complaint with Remake was I want more Remake.
Yeah.
Like I was texting you the whole time I was playing it for like a week straight. I didn't want to put it down, and then every time I get to a new chapter, I'd get anxiety because I knew it was getting closer to being over. Like I fucking love that game to death.
And what was Remake on?
PS4.
PS4,
Okay.
and then later came to PC.
Okay.
Did you played the Yuffie stuff, right?
Yeah, I played it when I
Yeah.
got it on Steam.
Yeah. That
Is that like a DLC?
yeah. So in the original, Yuffie shows up like she's missable in the original.
Is that the one with the
She's
the
ninja.
arm?
Yeah. She's completely
green
missable.
shirt?
Yeah, she's completely missable in original FF7. You have to find her just in the wild, like as a random battle, beat her, and then she joins your team. And in this one, they were like, well, she's clearly important to the story, so we're gonna like put her in there. And they gave us a DLC that happens during all of Remake stuff, where Yuffie's in Midgar, and she has her own like stuff going on.
So you're playing as her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, now with Rebirth, she's just part of the crew, and she's one of the characters you can control.
Or romance?
No, she is 15.
Okay.
Yeah, no. The only realistically the only people that you can like romance is Aerith or Tifa. The rest of them are like, it's just like a friendship meter, because you can I'm pretty sure you get
Thanks, bestie.
yeah. Well, because you can.
You're such a good friend.
I'm pretty sure you get.
I
need-
cherish our friendship.
I need to look this up later, but I'm pretty sure like you get like the Ferris wheel date with everyone, including Vincent and Sid. But theirs, because you basically just met, is like awkward, like, so like
Crazy weather we're having.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know because I still haven't met either Vincent or Sid yet. I just know they're in the game based on that trailer at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
But I am beelining Tifa shit. I like it's so disparagingly different. We're like, because
Have you gotten to like the swimsuit part yet?
yeah, I
Okay.
already did all that. Whenever you're running around the open world or just anywhere, if you press L, the left bumper, you like it'll pull up like your health and all the other stuff. But then the little icon above their heads, which is like a little smiley face, will show everybody else is like green or still grayed out. Tifa's is all blue with one little section that needs to be filled out. Where I'm like, yeah, I've exclusive. Anytime side quests pop up, I'll start them and I go, oh, this is Bear
Have
side
you looked
quest.
up like
oh wait,
how to do the best dialogue?
Yep. 100%. Everybody else, I'm just winging it. I'm like, I think this is what they're like, but for me, I'm like, no, I have to get the right ones with Tifa.
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing with Remake, where, well, not Remake was a lot easier because there was like two
Yeah,
very
it's-
specific choices of like, hey, Aerith and Tifa are on the ground. Who do you want to wake up first and like help? And then just Tifa. It
Yeah.
was a lot easier, but this one they make a conceited
Because
effort to go
doesn't-
like, hey,
I mean, I guess.
spoilers for
yeah.
Final
Matt's
Fantasy
been
7.
getting a lot of Final Fantasy TikToks, and now he's interested in 7, just for context.
So
So
doesn't Aerith die?
yes,
Yep.
in the original,
In the end, or
in the well, I don't know.
Mid-game,
I don't
she gets
know.
stabbed through the tits.
really?
In I don't know how this
So, like,
game
this
ends.
way.
I don't know how Rebirth ends, so she could survive for all I fucking know. But in the original FF7, you get to the Temple of the Ancients. Aerith is like praying, and Sephiroth just swings down and stabs her.
Because
And she dies.
Rebirth is is them going back in time to fix.
No.
That's 8.
No.
8 does time travel bullshit, yes. But
Remake and Rebirth is Aerith and Sephiroth going back in time to... Oh, is there new information from the new one?
the one thing I will tell you is, and it's something that both Red and Aerith talk about that Cloud walks in on, they have no memories of what happened in Remake. Like, all the information is gone. So all
Remake?
Well, like you know how Aerith and Red were like, yo, the Whispers, all this, they have all this information. All that information's gone. So now they're just Aerith and Red from...
So them changing the timeline, like, kind of sent their spirits out of the bodies, I suppose.
It's pretty much that all of the future information they would have had is not there anymore. They know they lost it.
Does Cloud have that?
Cloud's never had it.
Cloud's getting weird. At least in Remake, he got, like, future visions. So, like, he saw the death of Aerith. He saw...
Yeah, he got some Xenoblade future visions.
But, for the most part, Cloud is still even where I'm at, he's still the unreliable narrator. Although they're teasing some Zack shit that I'm like, ooh.
Because you said the good ending is everyone dies.
Everyone dies, and Midgar just, like, gets overtaken by nature, and Red 13 is the only party member to live.
Because the bad ending is what?
The bad ending is, like...
Advent Children.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That's where everybody survives, and they, like, build a bar together. And Sephiroth comes back from the dead one more time, but they fucking kill him again.
That seems like a pretty good ending.
No.
I mean, it's a dope movie.
It's a cool looking movie when you actually sit down and
not
watch
good?
it. So the whole point of
Just because they say it's not.
One of the points of FF7 is that Shinra, like the company, is basically taking from the planet. Like the way the planet works in 7 is there's this, like, the life stream it's basically like a physical, you can see heaven kind of vibe. Like that's where people's souls go after they die kind of thing. And Shinra took the life stream and started making like
gasoline out of it, basically.
Yeah, and they're quite literally sucking the life out of the planet, like physically.
Yeah, so, like they take a big needle, they jam it into the earth, and then they suck the stuff out of it and put it in their coffee makers.
Basically. So, like, all the tech, all the magic, like, materia, which is, like, the magic system, is just Maka, like, straight up life
it's, like,
energy.
condensed.
Yeah. And so, the planet, though...
So, you mean... So, one, it's good ending for the planet, and then the other one's, like, bad ending for the planet.
Yeah, so it's basically, like, the planet gets to survive, and apparently Vincent also survived, because he's a fucking immortal vampire.
Makes sense.
But everybody else is dead. But
so he's just alone?
Probably. Although, to be fair...
Because he's not fucking around with Red 13.
After getting hard cucked by Hojo, I would also want to die alone.
Yeah, I'd kill myself.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
He literally gets cucked.
Really?
Vincent has a girlfriend.
That's the plot of the Vincent game is, I got cucked. I'm mad about it.
Like,
at least from what I can tell.
So Sephiroth was made from Genova cells, like that being, but then birthed by Lucretia, which is Vincent's, like, lover, but through Hojo, the scientist. And she was cool with it. Like, she broke up with Vincent, went to Hojo to birth a Messiah character, but then turns out that Hojo's a creep and a fucking weirdo. And
Hojo's a scientist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude looks disgusting.
That worked with
Shinra.
Aerith, dad?
No, Shinra.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's constantly kidnapping Aerith because he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna breed you with this dog.
Yeah.
Make it more ancient.
He wanted to breed Aerith with Red 13, the red dog.
The red dog that looks decrepit and needs to be put down.
He's beautiful. Fuck
you. Eat a dick. No, Red 13's the best.
I know, but he looks like...
He's the smartest character.
Yeah, but he looks so bad. He looks like he's on death's door.
So you just kill ugly dogs now?
He looks like a 22-year-old pug that just is on its last
He doesn't
legs.
look anything like a pug.
But the vibes. Same vibes. With the heavy breathing that you just are like, this could be its last breath.
He looks like Punk Scooby-Doo is what he looks like.
But okay.
No, but yeah, the Rebirth, so far, I will say this, it's exactly what I was saying that they were going to do, which is, Remake was like 90% faithful remake with expanded content, and then 10% of like weird new shit. It's so far the same thing, where it's like, we're doing the same shit, we're going to Calm, to Junon, to Coast of the Soul, all the stuff you want to see, but now we're expanding on it. It's like, last night, I just got to the Coral Mines, which is Barrett's spot. Also, you do need to read that Tifa Aerith novel, the Traces of Two Paths thing, where it's their backstories, because that has already come up of like, oh yeah, this doctor who helped Tifa when she was taken away from Nibelheim. I'm like, oh, sick. So I read it and I was like, I know you. So yeah, they are constantly making those.
That sucks because I was hoping that Ever Crisis would cover that, but their origin stories in that is like, oh no, Tifa sold sandwiches for a year.
She did.
Yeah.
And the only reason she did, because Tifa's whole story is that she escaped Nibelheim from Master Zangan. He pretty much he put her in he was in a hospital. The doctor was apparently kind of a creep, and so he fixed her spine, did a whole thing, but then took pictures of the procedure without her consent, with her tits hanging out, and just started showing all his doctor friends. And she was
where would somebody put photos like that? That's so gross.
Where did he post those?
Yeah,
there's so many websites.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Which one did he use?
But then the doctor charged her 3 times what the procedure actually costs, and so now she's in hella debt, and so she's working at this sandwich shop. Then she meets Barrett, they renovate Seventh Heaven, and then it's basically her getting into Midgar, that whole thing. And Aerith is a lot more fucked up because it's all because you remember the Cena remake where it's Aerith's actual mom
dying on the train tracks.
They get to that point and they show Aerith growing up with Elmira, and it's fucked because they straight up tell you some of the fucked up shit that Hojo had done to Aerith's mom and shit. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Damn.
After that, I'm like, how are you still so, happy and shit? I don't get it. I would have been like...
Because she met Zach.
That is true. But, yeah, Rebirth is great. The gameplay... I don't want to get into story shit because I don't want to go far because I will talk about it if you put me on that.
Yeah,
but,
don't do that because I still gonna play it someday.
The gameplay though is fucking awesome. So combat, first of all, has been it feels faster.
I saw the combo attack with Tifa and Aerith not Tifa and Aerith, but Aerith and
Barrett with the sunglasses. Do you know that changes if she has her bathing suit on? They're pink sunglasses.
That's dope.
Yeah, but
because that's the tightest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, is them putting their sunglasses on together.
The all those, by the way, so I'll get to that in a second. But combat is faster, and aerial combat is actually a thing.
Oh, that's great.
So you don't have a jump button, so you can't just jump and start attacking. But what your ATB moves, some of them will fling you in the air to do it, and then you just stay in the air.
Kind of how in Kingdom Hearts there was an up slash attack which started your aerial combos.
Yeah, but so take out the jump button in Kingdom Hearts, but yes, the same thing where this combo will push you in the air with the enemy, and you'll just be in the air, and you can continue fighting there, doing more stuff. Certain abilities can be used in the air, certain ones can't. And you'll learn them. It's the same thing with the weapons. So if you get a new weapon, it has a specific ability. Master that ability, you can use that weapon. You can use that ability with any weapon.
Now, is with this game, Cloud is always known to have the Buster Sword. Are two things. Are there real-time cutscenes? If you get a new weapon...
The sword will change.
Will change the cutscenes.
Yeah.
And then is the Buster Sword end-game weapon or beginning?
It's the beginning.
You always start with Buster Sword because that's the sword Cloud has when he gets to Midgar.
The end-game weapon is usually Ultima.
Which they're definitely saving that for 3.
Of course.
Because even
what do you mean 3?
This is gonna be a trilogy.
Oh my god.
So remake, rebirth, and whatever the last one is. It's not reunion, which I thought it was gonna be because they use that for Crisis Core.
Remind.
Fuck off. But
redo.
Who knows? Rebuild. Just straight up be like, yeah, we like those Ava movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cloud gets busted. So everybody gets weapons, and yeah, so each weapon has a specific ability. If you master it, you can now just use that ability with any weapon. It doesn't matter. So that's now just a move you've learned. Each character plays vastly different. There is kind of a vibe you got in the first game where it's generally it's okay, Cloud and Tifa are the melee people, Barrett and Aerith are ranged. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but Red 13 and Yuffie, Red is such a weird one. His whole thing is all about blocking and doing perfect
counters.
Yeah. So, which by the way, you now can perfect block. So if you time it right, you just don't get hit.
Hell yeah.
Which is great. But his is all about building up a vengeance gauge, and then when you hit triangle, the gauge will start. It turns orange, and you have a move called Siphon Fang, and every time you use it, it'll go down. But it's a super powerful move, but you can only get it by building.
You know what that kind of reminds me of is fucking Gabranth in Dissidio 12.
Dude, when I was playing as Red, I was like, let's fucking go. Yuffie plays very similarly to Intermission, so it's not super different. Tifa is the best to play as, just off rip.
Yeah,
it's just a fucking fighting game character. Which, hey, you see the Tekken director or creator was like, I've heard you. Like, he posted a picture of Tifa and says, "Don't worry, I get it. It's not completely up to me though, but we're trying." And
they got Noctis in the last one. It couldn't be that hard.
Noctis is another Final Fantasy character.
He's the
15.
main character of 15.
Okay.
He's the emo haired looking motherfucker with as the main guy in 15. The road trip with the boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, all the just Tifa's is fun because she still got her unbridled strength of building her like triangle move, but now like all of her different like ATB abilities are fucking like overpowered is great because if you use it, immediately jumping into a combo strengthens that entire combo chain. The materia, like there's a new materia that they put in which is auto unique ability, and if you set it into a character, they will use their triangle move without being controlled.
Now, why what would you say, what Final Fantasy has the strongest story? Because that leads into the question of why is 7 such a big deal?
7 was just it was the first one. So you know how like Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time are like big because they're the first 3D? Same thing.
Okay.
But also they spent more marketing than has ever been spent on a video game.
Yep.
On FF7. Like you'd be like in some random city in Canada and you'd see a bus roll by and the whole side of the bus is FF7.
They had like deals with Coca-Cola, with like movie theater. Like you saw, like it was
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Really?
Because
TV commercials, which
that
wasn't a thing for games at the time.
Sony was pretty much, that was their flagship by PS1 for this. And it was also at that time of, you know, where you know, you kind of cheated with marketing. They showed all the like the pre-rendered 3D cutscenes to say, look how good this game looks, and you play it and they're the weird polygonal, like gross versions. But it's also the story of FF7 hit because of the Aerith death was by that point like no one unheard of. Like not only was she like, for most people she was the main healer. Depending on your choices,
because her first limit break was the
healing word,
and you can put materia on anybody to make them kind of do whatever. But Aerith was specifically coded as a healer.
She also is one of the love interests for Cloud. So if you played the game a certain way, it's like, oh, her and Cloud are kind of getting together, and then she dies, and that's it. And it's not like a death of like she gets one more like sentence or no, she dies, and it's sudden and it's fucked, and you have to fight Sephiroth, and then immediately after Cloud just kind of like he like puts her in the live stream himself. Like it's a really beautiful moment. And yeah, just in general, that game like hit just at the right time. It was 97, 98, and it's just that's the culture, and it always makes money. Like when you look at, also they made a prequel game, a sequel game, an animated movie, mobile games, like it's the one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because it was that the one that just were like, all right, this is what we're gonna put our money into. And
well, at the time the original game came out, yes, but since then it's shown itself to be the most popular, so that's why they keep doing it.
That's why like in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Cloud is like a character who shows up. Sephiroth is an optional boss fight. Aerith, Tifa, they all show up as well. Yuffie's there. Like they're
Doesn't Sephiroth show up at the end of 3?
No, he's not in.
There's
3,
no Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts 3
unless you get the DLC, then they show up.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you paid $30, now you get to see fucking Squall
and Sid and Yuffie.
Kill yourselves, Square Enix.
But yeah, Cloud is like, in case in point, now they're in Smash Bros. Like that, Cloud and Sephiroth are like two of the biggest names that Square has. But it's just the most popular one. Like that's kind of it. Like I would put, in terms of storytelling, I'd put 6 up there. 6 is probably 6 in 10. Yeah, I'd say 10. 10's pretty good.
I fucking hate 10.
Do you?
Story wise, I hate
8 more.
I don't like 8 because it's just stupid. There's not a lot to like about 8 in my opinion.
I honestly think 8. I think if given like the, not necessarily 7 remakes treatment, but like get a full voice acted cast and everything, because there's something about some of those early RPGs where you read dialogue and you're like, this feels stilted and weird, but like I can vibe with it. 8's is the worst in that. I think if they did maybe not 7 remakes version, but like maybe like a step below of like, it's a full remake of the game, fully voice acted, newer stuff, because I don't hate 8, but it's definitely the weakest in my opinion of the mainline From 4 onward, it's the weakest. I
Do
still
we
think
know
2 is the
what's
worst.
if we're gonna get 17 next?
Probably.
I mean, as far as mainline goes, yes. But
I mean, they're probably. I would venture that they're probably going. They probably have a team already working on 17 now, because 16 is their last DLC is coming out this year. 7 Rebirth just hit. Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably coming out soonish.
that better be before 17, or I'll riot.
I think it's going to be the next game between Rebirth and whatever the next 7 game
Really?
is.
So like the next year?
Well, because they've
No,
already
well,
shown trailers for it.
Rebirth, well, probably not next year, but probably within the next couple, because Rebirth was 4 years after Remake, and I'm assuming, I'm hoping that the next game will have a lot less development time, because they basically built all the major places that you're gonna go anyway. So, and then now you're probably gonna have Sid in the air, the high wind, so being able to fly.
Yeah.
So here's hoping we get it sooner, but who knows. 17 though is probably being worked on, and it's probably going to have like a new director, a new team, new combat, new story, new everything, whatever they decide to do with that one. But we also have the FF9 remake that's apparently still supposed to come out.
Yeah, that one, I don't know. They've been
one's-
talking about it for so long, and we haven't seen anything.
Well, that one's supposed to be a lower budget, turn-based, and like a traditional Final Fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. But yeah, those team-up attacks that you were talking about, how you've seen them, the way they work, and this is why I love this combat, because did you ever kind of just pick one character and stay in that lane? Like, did you mostly play as Cloud through Remake?
I mean, a lot of it I played as Cloud, but then when it gave me the opportunity, I'd switch to Tifa most of the time.
So, Remake, I have been switching constantly, because the way you build the team of attacks is each of the characters, once you unlock them, so in your skill tree you have to unlock them. They all have these like little grayed out like tick marks underneath, and you have to, and each of your abilities will fill a tick mark. So you have to use them, and both the characters have to have the exact same number of like marks to use a team up attack. So you're constantly switching and like actually using everybody's abilities, because in a regular match against like just random enemies, it's not, you're gonna kill them before they get there. But in boss fights and like big enemies and whatnot, it becomes like an actual viable way of beating them. So like Cloud and Tifa have like the cool like where they'll both grab the Buster Sword and like slam it down, and Tifa will like kick it into an enemy and stuff like that. That one, like, it's like I think you have to get 4 of the ticks, and then if you want to use it again, you have to get all 6 of them, I think. So yeah, it makes you just use everybody's abilities, because once you get everybody like unlocked with multiple of them, it doesn't matter what your party makeup is, you're always going to have a team up attack to use, and each of them will have a gameplay change, like a thing. So like one of Cloud and Tifa's is, once you use this for the next like minute or whatever it is, MP cost is 0, so you can just use any magic once the ATB bar is full and just use it. Some like Barret and Red have one that'll split your ATB bar into 3 sections instead of 2. There's one that will extend stagger time if you use it on a staggered enemy. It's like, it just all these different like things. So you're constantly like in your head going, okay, what's good to use here? Like it's super strategic in that way, and they're all flashy, basically just limit breaks. But also limit breaks, that's another thing. Some of the team up attacks will raise your limit level, which means you can now not just use like Cloud's cross slash, but you can actually use, I think it's like Reaver, I think is what it is, where he'll like stab them and fling them up. And yeah, so you can get more limit breaks with those. The fucking combat's awesome, and like I've been having such a blast with it. The open world areas are sick, because it's not like Witcher 3 or like Skyrim, where it's just here's the whole world, go. It's like, here's your section. It's
like, here's a valley.
Yeah, like here's your and there's some like differences in biomes somewhat. Like the grasslands have like a desert area that's like, oh, it's closer to the city, so all the grass is dried up because of Mako and shit. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, here's your section. You have towns you can go to, fast travel locations. You can get a chocobo to ride around and make it faster, and it's great. And then they have all side quests. There's Chadley shows back up as your boy for the VR stuff, and he basically he's your main level of like side activity in the open worlds, because it's all intel that he wants. So it's like, hey, battle intel, which is beat an enemy a specific way.
Isn't the first time you meet him, doesn't he make you do like an Assassin's Creed map tower?
Yes.
That pisses me off. Fuck you, Chadley.
The difference in that is that it still doesn't give you everything in the map. It only gives you the intel he wants. So those towers aren't going to show you every secret and every hidden thing. You still have to travel around and do it. So that's the one thing I will say. It's like, okay, this is just for Chadley shit. It still makes me want to explore. So I'm like, I'm cool with it. But summons are great. Which, by the way, make sure... I'm assuming it'll be the same on PC when it comes out. But whenever you have...
when will that be?
The exclusivity ends in May. We'll see if they're actually working on it now to have it out by then, but who knows. But if you have a save data for Remake and Intermission, you get summon Leviathan and another one. I think it's Moogle and Chocobo.
Hell yeah.
Which the fucking Moogles look awful.
Yeah, it's sad.
But the other thing I need to talk about is so you are gonna like this game specifically because you like the Yakuza series. This is pushing Yakuza out as having the most mini games, like comparatively. Like I'm already like I've gotten addicted to the Queen's Blood card game in the game where it's like I don't care what the main mission is, like we have to get to Junon and we have to stop this. I'm like, yeah, but this guy's playing Queen's Blood in the bar. I gotta do that first. And I have every time I go to the store, I'm buying new packs. I'm doing all that. Like that's become the main game for me. To where there is a point in the game where it's optional, but it's in your in one of the main chapters where it's like, hey, we're gonna host a Queen's Blood tournament. And I said, fuck the main story, I'm doing it. And it has become like the best thing where, and going online and seeing other people talk about it, the general consensus is Square Enix, please, dear God, put this on iPhone or something. Like, make a mobile game of this.
Well, I hope it is really that fun because I fucking hated Gwent.
I'm not the biggest fan of Gwent. Triple Triad in 8 was probably the only good thing in 8. But this is it's like, you play Marvel Snap, right?
Yeah, I love Marvel Snap.
It's that.
Oh, hell yeah.
But Final Fantasy, and it's unlike Marvel Snap where it's like three places, you put a bunch of cards in there. It is about power levels based on your card placements, but you can actually take spots away from the other person. So it's like 3 rows of like 5. And so you place cards on the board. It based on the abilities of the cards, it can give you more power on one spot and give you more power here. They can change things. You can take cards away. So it's basically, yeah, the end of the game is whoever has the more power in at the end. So you could only have 1 row that's yours, but you could have had like 7 like 4 cards that pretty much boost your number up so high that like there's nothing they can do. It's so fun. I've lost myself to that where it's like every time it's like, all right, new region, who's playing Queen's Blood? I'm like, fuck the other side quests, like even fuck Tifa and her shit, I want to play Queen's Blood. Damn. So that's been fun. Fort Condor comes back.
Oh, that's good because I really like Fort Condor.
I will say you have
it's like a RTS kind of thing where you have these little minifigures you find in the game, and then you can use those as units that'll attack like aerials and all that stuff.
Did you
There's
see
like 3 towers you got to take over.
Okay.
Did you see the trailer where they showed like the original models in that weird 3D space?
The original models?
The original, like the polygonal cloud model and bear model and stuff. Have you seen that?
I saw a weird thing where it looked like there was a fight between Cloud and that one guy.
So there's that fighting game bit in Golden Saucer. At least I think that's where it is. But Fort Condor also has a bit where you go back to that chibi form thing. But yeah, that you do have to do the so there. It's one of the Chadley's quests, but it's like the main side quest for each region is a proto relic quest, and one of them will unlock Fort Condor. So
I've seen that there's a Frog Fall Guys.
Yes. You unlock that by doing one of the Tifa side missions, which is the only reason I have it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's literally it's not as big as Fall Guys, obviously, but like
yeah, of course,
it's just like rotating like things. You have to jump around. The longer it goes on, some of the floors will fall out, so you have to be very careful. Yeah, it was also pretty fun. Chocobo racing is super fun.
Just Mario Kart.
Basically, with chocobos. And I haven't even gotten to Golden Saucer yet. Like, that's the thing. I'm doing so many, like, mini games and side things, and I haven't gotten to the place where all the fucking mini games are.
Usually is.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun. I know the Coliseum's in there, so I'm going to fuck around with that, too, later.
I love Coliseum.
I'm assuming they're going to unlock more limit breaks, because that's how you unlocked them in Remake, is doing the solos. So I'm assuming there'll be some reward for that. I'm scared, though, because I know that, like, based on playing original FF7, I know we're going to go to Gungaga.
Me, Gongaga.
I'm terrified of what that means.
What does that mean?
That's Zach's
That's where
hometown.
Zach's from.
Okay.
And I just know they're gonna pull some bullshit because, like, in the original, it's just like, oh, this is where my
Is Zach dead?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Super dead.
in the main timeline, yes. The end
Cloud
of,
watched him die.
yeah, that's the reason Cloud
From
has the trauma.
Sephiroth?
No,
No, from like
A
he was
Shinra
trying to get
firing
back
squad.
to Midgar, and they just sent every soldier in the army to shoot him up.
Damn.
like they literally shot him dead, like just full of holes, and he's laying there bleeding out, and Cloud like crawls to him. 'Cause Cloud's like brain.
He was catatonic for a long
Yeah,
time.
he was basically, his brain's broken. He's barely functional as a person. And Zach basically imprints on him in a way where he's like, you have to live for me. Like, you're my living legacy. And then for that fucks up Cloud's mind more, where he's like, oh, okay, I'll just be Zach. But he's still Cloud. Like, he can't call himself Zach. So he's like, I'm Cloud. I was the soldier first class. I was in Nibelheim. I did all the stuff
Yeah,
Zach
it's like
did.
they Winter Soldier activated him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's part of the storyline, like, of Cloud is it his Tifa.
So do you think when he goes back to Zach's hometown, he'll be like, "This was my hometown.
No,
This is where my
no,
mom
because,
lived."
because he knows he's from Nibelheim. Like, it's a melding of him and Zach.
He remembers his childhood, but the soldier career, he thinks he had it.
Yeah, so all of Zach's things of, like, I was a soldier, I fought with Sephiroth, I did all this. That's
Basically, the things
yeah.
that he knows about Zach.
So
he
do you
thinks he
think that
did.
like Cloud is like a worthy hero?
I mean, by the end of it, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing is that's part of the original FF7 was, like, when he gets his memories back, he does think, like, I'm nobody. I didn't do shit. But, like, Tifa and Barrett and all the crew are like, no, you've led us this far. You're still this guy. And he kind of steps into the role after that. And
Gotcha.
I mean,
yeah.
he helps so many people. Like, even when he still thinks that he's Zach, like, it's kind of a wash.
The thing is, like, there's still Cloud in there. Like, yes, he's using Zach's memories to fill in blanks for him, but it's like he's still Cloud. Like, you see it a lot. Like, anytime Cloud, like, because Cloud realistically is a dork. He's
He
not,
doesn't have half of Zach's riz.
Yeah, and he's not nearly. He's got that. No, so Zach has just general, like, riz. Cloud has the autistic riz.
Yeah.
Which is how he gets Tifa and Aerith to like him. But I'm worried because you've seen the end of remake. You know Zach's in this he's on the fucking cover art.
Yeah.
So he's in this game. He's gonna be playable.
He's been in every trailer,
Yeah.
too.
So I'm waiting for the fucking moment of maybe not him showing up, but I wonder if they're gonna change a little bit. Like, what if Cloud starts to slowly remember Zach, but it's still fucked up? You know what I mean? Because Tifa and Aerith are clearly talking. Like, it's not just like, oh, which, by the way, the Nibelheim flashback's great.
I can't wait to play that.
It was the demo and it was awesome. But yeah, no, dude, I'm worried to get to Gongaga. I'm honestly worried for the Golden Saucer because
I think Gongaga is where they're going to put Cisne in.
Is she in the game?
Yeah, she was in that one trailer.
Oh, fuck, right. Oh, shit. Yeah, Gongaga would make sense. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, now I have more reason to go there. I'm hyped for that. This game's so great, dude. That's another thing too with the side quests. Like how I mentioned, there's like specific ones per character. So in the first game, you would just do like fetch quests and whatever else, and they're kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
This game, even if the quest itself is kind of
fetch.
boring,
Stop trying to make fetch happen, Matt. It's never going to happen.
what makes it more fun is it's like, yeah, this quest itself is like I'm going and grabbing something and bringing it back, but the commentary between the characters, because now it's like, oh, this quest is Barrett's quest, so he has like there's one quest where it's him and Cloud walking, and Barrett's like kind of like worried about like, oh, I don't want Marlene to grow up, like it's scary, like I want to protect her forever, but I understand like I can't be like the smothering parent. And Cloud has like this really cool moment where he's like, dude, like you're fine. You're going to be a good dad. You're good, whatever.
Bo Billingsley voiced Barrett in the original?
In Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus, yes.
Yeah, he was the first voice that Barrett ever had.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's another thing. The new guys, fucking great. The Nibelheim flashback is so good because Cody Christian, who voices Cloud, is doing a Zack impression. Like he's doing like it's Cloud's voice,
Cloud as Zack,
but he's elevating his speech. He's a bit more excited. He's a little more like he's quipping, and like it's fun. It's so funny to see because
he also voices that nameless soldier in that scene, doesn't he? No?
Zack's voice actor voices the Nameless Soldier.
Holy shit.
And you know how, because you remember in Crisis Core, Zack talks about, my girlfriend back home vibe. The Nameless Soldier is supposed to be Cloud, says that line of like, my girlfriend back home. And it's like, oh, and when I rewatched it, I'm like, oh shit, that's Zack's voice actor. Like, it's straight, so they just switched them.
Damn.
And he's doing like kind of a Cloud impression.
I love that.
I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. This game is so like, I hate the people who call this a cash grab. Like, oh, they're splitting into 3 parts. It's a cash grab. If this was a cash grab,
it would still be turn based, and it would just have like some updated graphics.
If it was a cash grab, they wouldn't put this much money into it.
Yeah.
Like, this game is screaming budget, and it's fucking awesome.
I mean, this is from everything that I've read. This is the story that they wanted to tell at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how that could ever be a cash grab when it seems like it's always been the plan.
Well, yeah, because there was that PS3 tech demo back in 2000, whatever it was, 5.
Like back when they showed off the PS3.
Yeah, and then apparently the rumor was that the compilation would end with a remake, and then we just didn't get it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, this game's great. Do not. It's the same thing, Yakuza. Do not listen to any of the marketing. Do not start here. I swear to God, this game is aggressively a sequel. Like, you wouldn't start Star Wars with Empire Strikes Back.
If any company tells you you can start with this game, at least these days, that seems to be terrible advice. You need to ask Reddit or just look up release order.
Yeah, just go, what order should I play in? And then, this is one. And there are people who will tell you should play OG FF7, and you can. It will give you a lot of context to things. The only thing that I'm a little upset about, and this is personal, is that you do have to play Crisis Core.
Yeah.
So, like, because they are straight up just saying, the Zack stuff, we're just going to spoil that immediately. And then they remade Crisis Core and were like, play this. And it has the tagline, so it's Crisis Core Reunion, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, so it's part of this collection of games. But, so that's the only thing, because OG FF7 does a really good job of, like, what's Cloud's deal, and then you find out, and you're like, oh shit, like, so that's the only gripe. Other than that, honestly, start at Remake, play Crisis Core, then play Rebirth, and you're golden.
Yeah.
And they're fucking great games. Well, Remake and Rebirth are. Crisis Core is good, but
Crisis Core is amazing.
Crisis Core is really good in the same way that, like, I'm gonna be honest, a Fast and Furious is good, where it's like, this dialogue is bad. Like, Genesis is the worst character to exist in a Final Fantasy game. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, that's
like,
facts.
Like that's the thing. Like the parts of Crisis Core that are good.
But that makes
Zack,
it even better because Zack just wants to fucking kill him.
Like, Zack is the best part of Crisis Core, and then the second half of Crisis Core is great. Once Angeal is gone, it becomes the game we thought we were gonna get, where here's Soldier First Class Zack.
Well, I would say Sung is one of the best characters in Crisis Core.
It makes me so mad, by the way. That's something too, and they're kind of trying to alleviate that. But you ever find it funny that, like, oh yeah, they dropped the Sector 7 plate. Reno aggressively pushed that button, and then in, like, Advent Children, they're joking around with them, and I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all caused the 9/11.
Yeah, it makes me, like, really legitimately mad at Sung, because I'm like, you were the fucking homie. What are you doing?
Did you see his speech in Remake where he's like, well, someone was gonna do it. It's like, bitch.
Didn't have to be you, though.
Yeah. And then even I love Reno's thing. It's like, do you seriously believe that? And he just goes,
Yeah, it's fucked.
Elena's really good too. Big shout out to her voice actress. So because Elena's supposed to be a new Turk, kind of in over her head, they hired a new voice actress. She's like 20 years old, first role ever.
Damn.
And she's doing a really good job. She's got that cockiness of a young 20-something who thinks like they're the hot shit, and it's really fucking good.
Like Keanu Reeves in Point Break.
The voice acting is great, story's great. Yeah, Rebirth is fucking amazing. I could gush about it more, but I know I'm taking up too much time. But yeah.
Speaking of Keanu Reeves, I wanted to talk to you because we watched The Crow.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things we got to get to.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take up too much time. But yeah.
I love that you love that.
I wanted to hear about it.
I just also feel bad that I can't be engaging other than.
I mean,
engage with the conversation. I'm like,
I
mean, shit. Remake is on sale right now,
and I have it on Steam. We can just download it and let you play it.
Yeah.
So Steam is now adding a feature, and it's
the Steam families, right?
So it has apparently it's up to developers to enable. But if you live in the same household with somebody, so it doesn't matter if you're family or remake, but they're calling it family sharing. You just have to turn it on between two accounts, and what it does is it still you like one person still owns the game, but you get your own new save files and all sorts of stuff like that, which is great. It just draws the game from somebody's account. So like with me and you, it's like we just turn that on and we don't have to log out between two accounts. It's just
hell yeah,
it's all there. So even though it's not too difficult on my computer, just log out, switch accounts, automatically logs back in.
It's still like a small issue of like, oh, this is I can just download
it's just
it.
an easy
well, the other
use
thing
kind
is
of thing for us.
I do get your save files though.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure like I do new save files and stuff like that.
So it's just a lot just easier way of doing it. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Just less hurdles to jump.
Yeah, you want to talk? We watched The Crow because there's a new Crow
the
coming out.
It's the best, worst movie I've ever seen.
With Bill Skarsgård.
It looks. I hate the look.
He looks like
the new one.
He looks like Reboot Dante.
He looks like Riff Raff.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for it. I
mean, I know I'm gonna watch it and love it, but
especially because when I showed you the trailer, the trailer is so graphic. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they show a guy's head explode from a shotgun blast. It was very, very graphic.
Yeah, but what about Keanu Reeves?
Oh, I was just thinking about Keanu Reeves because he's a white twink with long hair.
That's true.
We watched the original Crow.
Yeah, we watched that. We finished Midnight Mass.
Yeah, which was incredible. Highly recommend everybody go watch Midnight Mass, especially if you're into like Resident Evil, Silent Hill vibes.
That's the vibe I got, and so it's on my list on my Netflix. So
It's only one season. It's a limited series.
It's only 7 episodes too.
Take the time, people.
Yeah, it would take longer to finish a season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's 7 episodes, about 55 minutes each one. Incredible acting. I just wish the same people did that. Just did like a Resident Evil.
Yeah, why didn't they get them to do the Resident Evil Netflix series that sucked balls?
Yeah, do that, or a Silent Hill would be insane.
I think that's more realistic than ever right now.
Yeah.
I wonder, because it's funny to go back and watch the actual Silent Hill movies and the Resident Evil movies and go, man, y'all didn't get it at all.
Yeah, they were like, okay, Pyramid Head, and that's it.
Pyramid Head and the sexy nurse, maybe, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like, I'm glad we're at a point now where like we have things like
Because in the
Last
games,
of Us.
is Pyramid Head like turn out to be like the good guy?
Everything
like
in
the movie?
Silent Hill is a manifestation of your own guilt. So Pyramid Head being in anything except for Silent Hill 2 and 3 doesn't make any fucking sense.
Like he's aggressively targeted towards like the protagonist of those.
Because in the movie, like
He's just like
he's chasing her, and
I mean, it's the same with the nurses too.
He's chasing her, but then at the end, he like saves her.
Yeah, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, it's like the new Silent Hill, like Shattered Memories, is about a girl who basically like cyberbullied a girl to commit suicide, and so all her guilt is that, and so it's very similar to that. Like every Silent Hill is that. It's about the protagonist's level of guilt, because the whole thing is Silent Hill. Silent Hill is supposed to give you what you think you want. Or but in a really fucked up, twisted way. So like,
I mean, shit, they put me in there with those nurses, and I've got what I want.
yeah. So
they don't put in the nurses. Fuck.
You're like,
There was time now.
But yeah, I'm glad that, because I heard good things about it before, but it's hearing you guys gush is like,
it's
okay.
incredible. It was just one of those things where we were watching something, and I was like. Or I think it was
We were watching Broadchurch.
and then either Carmen or I was like, "Oh shit! Like, we need to watch Midnight Mass. Like, it's so good," and it just popped into our brains. And then PJ got Netflix, and then we did that.
Oh, so you're not using? So you got the Netflix?
Yeah, I
account?
just paid for Netflix. I was tired of just trying to find something on Max is like pulling teeth.
I mean, I feel like I've watched everything on Max.
That's how I feel too.
I mean, to be fair, I love Max.
Well, it
But I
also
just
sucks that
watched everything.
The only thing that I haven't seen on there is House of the Dragon, and I'm saving it.
Are you gonna wait for season 2 to fully drop, or do you think?
I might.
Yeah.
But there also might just be a night where I'm like, fuck it, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's been sending me TikToks where it's like the little speech where they forge the dagger, and she does the whole Song of Ice and Fire thing, and I'm like, oh!
I think House of Dragons is really good. It's definitely not Game of Thrones good. I think it's about, to me, it's on par.
There's a different vibe to it. That's the thing that I get from it. It's just a different vibe.
Where Game of Thrones is about like all these Westeros as a whole, like kind of dealing with shit. House of Dragons is aggressively just the Targaryens and their rule. and what that is, their family drama, not whatever, not like the whole world.
Because that's what it feels like it turns into. Even though it's, I guess I didn't like it as much as Game of Thrones, which is okay, but and this is my opinion, but like it definitely parts of me felt like I was just watching like Real Housewives of
Targaryen.
Westeros. Like that's really what it felt like, and I was like,
but with a fantasy twist. Where it's like,
clearly with all the embellishments. Yeah. But
I mean,
part of me, I was just like, this is just like I'm just watching reality TV right now. Like obviously with swords and dragons and stuff like that, but
the thing with doing anything in that world that isn't the main series or the coming Jon Snow show, which I know is going to be peak. And it fucking better be, or I'll riot. But anything other than that is like, it's just adding flavor to the build-up of the War of the Five Kings and the White Walkers and everything.
I wonder, because the Fire and Blood book doesn't end with the War of Five Kings, I don't think.
Well, no, it's like hundreds of years before, right?
Could you imagine if House of Dragons goes to...
That would be a lot of seasons.
Aegon, or not Aegon, but like... Because I know, I don't know. I'd be very interested to see if we actually would get... who's Jon Snow's father? What's his name?
Eddard.
No, the real one.
Rhaegar.
Oh, Rhaegar.
Yeah. I fuck their names, dude. I wonder if we would get like, even if it's like a small movie of just the War of Five
I think
Kings.
it would be cool if every season of House of the Dragon covered a different generation of the family.
I know it's not because they've brought the actresses back and whatnot.
Yeah, Rhaenyra is the queen
and her children.
Yeah.
I'm very interested because I want to see, because I didn't read all of the book. I just, for whatever reason, just stopped and I was like, I kind of was like, I want to see it happen. I don't want to just read it and then go into the thing going, oh, it's, because I'm going to be honest, part of me is getting to the point where I'm like, if I see like a movie or something happening, I'm not going to go back to the original until I've seen it.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to become a thing where like Dune's a great example. Where like you were like, oh, they changed too much from the books for your taste, and I'm like, well, I'm cool with it. There's some things where I'll see things where it's like, oh, this isn't like the thing that I like, or this isn't what I liked, and like they changed too much. Even if like themes are similar, oh, they're changing too much. Where it's like, for me, it's like I watched House of Dragons and then I went back to read it, and I got about up to where the show stopped. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna watch the show and wait for the show to be done before I go in. Game of Thrones is like slightly different because there's just enough differences where it's like, oh yeah, by like season 5 there's changes, but like I don't know, I'm starting to be like, oh, this like Shogun, the new FX show, which I want to watch.
I want to watch that too.
I'm not gonna read the book until the show's done.
We need to talk about The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai.
Fucking great movie.
Was fucking incredible.
It's awesome, and I will hear no slander of that movie.
It has a 66 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is criminal.
Featuring that guy that they clearly based Chairman Sarah off of, but they don't want to admit it.
Mm-hmm. Dude, Last Samurai's fucking goated.
So fucking hard.
I don't know why. Like Mission Impossible's great. And like all these other...
No, this is his best role.
I was gonna say, to me,
Hands
this
down.
is like Tom Cruise at his best. Because I feel like now he's kind of playing into being Tom Cruise. This was actually like
him playing a role, which you don't see often.
It's the same thing with like The Rock. Like early movies with The Rock, he was playing roles. Now he's just The Rock.
Now The Rock just goes.
No, yeah, Last Samurai is so good, and I love all the actors in that.
Yeah, it was impeccable.
Because Shogun
has the main like right hand samurai from that movie in it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like because there was one night where we were like, let's watch Last Samurai, and then it was like already like 12, and I was like, it's a 2.5 hour movie. We're not going to. Then we sat down and watched through it, and then like halfway through, I was like, because I had only seen it once before, and it probably was right around when it, well, not right when it came out, but maybe like 8 years ago, and. There's just so much that I forgot, and so we get like halfway through, and I was like, where is this? How I completely forgot how.
And then you paused it, and we realized we were only halfway through, and I was like, oh shit.
I was like, oh thank God, because I was like, he gets that armor, and then he like goes back, and I was like, what? Well, you didn't take the armor? What's happening?
What's happening? This isn't how I remember this at all.
I watched that movie. There was a point in my like when I. It was when
when you were studying the blade.
Yeah.
The way of the sword.
I just got done playing Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like, fuck no.
in your feels with samurai.
There was a point where I like it was pretty much when my parents kind of let me off the hook of like, look,
You can finally play No More Heroes on the Wii.
yeah, where it was basically like, look, we don't like you watching some of these things or some of these movies. Like, basically, they let me go of like, we'll expect you'll make good choices. You're old enough to kind of know fiction from reality, all this kind of crazy shit. And I started just going down a rabbit hole of just all these movies I missed out on that everybody talked about, and then just finding movies that I've never heard of before. That one of them was Last Samurai, and I watched it because I was watching one. I forget what Tom Cruise movie. Top Gun. It was Top Gun, and then I watched, which also another movie where he's playing a role and not him.
Yeah.
Again, but it's funny because I love Maverick, by the way, but he's just being Tom Cruise.
I agree.
Like,
I
yeah.
100%. He's
I love,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's Tom Cruise in Maverick.
Well, from what I hear,
Well,
he's not the main draw of Maverick.
Yeah, he's not. I think it's Miles Teller's kind of character.
But to be fair, he's still the hero.
I mean,
in Maverick.
yeah, but like to me, yeah, the draw of that movie is like, it's kind of the idea of like kind of dealing with past, like, and like, yeah, all that.
Yes
kind of
and no, because then it turns out it's like, yep, we got all these new, like Maverick, you're like old blood, and it's time to let these new. Yeah, I mean the whole thing in the army is it's the same thing with like any professional sport. It's people retire because you're getting old, and there's these kids
the next generation comes in.
The next generation of these kids that are just have incredible athletic ability.
That scene
that
where
can just out jump, shoot, run, like it's all
Yeah,
that.
like,
and so it's the same
Cars
thing.
3 or whatever.
It's Maverick. They're like, you need to be you're going to become a teacher, and you're going to help train these next generation of pilots.
seeing him like
And then
just
it
decimate
still
them.
ends up being him like he's going to save the day still.
It's like, no, never mind. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, he's still the best. So it still ends up. It's
Yeah,
like the idea is like, oh yeah, he's gonna teach him, and he's like, nope, he's gonna do it
He's
himself.
just gonna do it. And then when he dies, America is screwed.
yeah, 100%. So, which to be fair, I still love because Top Gun.
I fucking love Maverick. Maverick is a great movie.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, but I see the idea of what they tried to do, and then it ended up collapsing in on, nope, it's still, Tom Cruise is still the best.
Yeah. We were watching Last Samurai, and there was a point where I was like, oh shit. And I looked at Matt, and I was like, is Ryoma Sakamoto in this movie?
I was like, who's that?
And I was like, never mind.
Who is that?
He's a
like,
real life samurai that is the protagonist of Like a Dragon Ishin, which is all based on real.
He's also in
historical-
Live Alive.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. Speaking of that, I did one more Live Alive chapter again.
Holy shit, it's been months.
Yeah, I come back to the game.
Isn't there like 5?
There's like 8.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then I'm just doing them as I get like, I have nothing else to play. Let me knock out another character in Live Alive. You did the martial arts one, right?
The one where you start as the old man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick? Was it?
I went with the girl because if you don't, then there's no females at the end of the
It
game.
really isn't. But also, she's kind of just the best one.
Yeah, there's like the fat guy that gets into bar fights and the pussy.
Yeah.
And then it's like the badass female like road warrior.
Yeah. No. Yeah. She was clearly the best choice, and I was like, give me her. Also, just her attacks already were better than the other two, so I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Facts.
Okay, but yeah, no. Last Samurai was a movie when I watched it. I was like, it was a thing where like I loved it. Like, this movie's great. And going on YouTube and trying to find like reviews and video essays and whatever else, it was half people going, this movie's amazing, it's great, and then other people going, yeah, this movie's kind of weird, it's a little bad, kind of racist. All of a sudden, I'm like, fuck, what?
I don't get the racism thing at all. It's about a man coming to respect a new culture.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is to me, it brought, that was the first case of, I don't think people understand, like, the media literacy, like discourse
Like,
now.
going
It's like,
from-
did you not understand the movie?
Going from like when he gets captured and he sees the general of the modernized army committing seppuku, and then the samurai general cutting his head off, to thinking like, they just put people down like dogs. And
Yeah,
then
and he
the
at the
very
end
end,
of it,
he
he's
helps that the same guy die, and he's like, would you help me? And he's like, I would rather just like live with honor. Like, you regained yours, let me die with mine.
That's
I was
what
like,
we in the industry call character progression.
yeah, that line went so hard. Yeah, it's like, you regained your honor, let me die with mine. Oh my
like,
gosh.
The whole point of like Last Samurai is kind of built, and Shogun is apparently too, where there's two major people in Japanese history, like Yasuke and then William, I forget his last name, but they were two non-Japanese people who actually got like samurai like ranks or whatever. Like they were like looked at as, no, these are just samurai. And there's a lot of people who will like argue, well, no, they were retainers, not samurai, and all this other stuff. But like the general consensus is like these people were accepted by the culture, became part of.
I mean,
them,
samurai
and
is kind of a loose label, anyway.
Yeah, it was. I mean, samurai were basically police. They were bodyguards. They were.
It's basically just any guy with a sword and a weird haircut.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But like that.
The only gripe I have with the movie is, and I understand how it works in cinema, is that you want to have like your big actors, and you want like for space movies, like you're gonna have for most of the time when your actors are in spacesuits or shots with them, they're never gonna have like the clear reflective lens on their spacesuit because you can't see the actor's face, even though like realistically
It should have that like gold metallic.
yes,
hue
because
to
your
it.
eyes would be
gone.
you would be blind.
Yeah.
You would be blind. It's like there's no ozone layer protecting your eyes from
you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's
like I understand that.
Another
but I
reason why-
wish in The Last Samurai, like
let
especially in the last fight,
Yeah,
they
put the
all-
helmet on, put the mask on.
That would have gone so, because other people did, because they do it in the very first scene where they show
Yeah,
all
them
them
riding
riding.
through the mist.
That
That was
goes-
so fucking hard.
So good.
The
But I wish they did that again. With,
too.
like
I-
having Tom Cruise.
I wonder if-
the full
I
mask
fully
and helmet.
agree.
Oh.
Because it doesn't feel like he's wearing the full armor without
And you
it.
could have done something like where it gets knocked off in battle or something.
but he
Even if
puts
he
it
just
on-
left the
yeah.
mask off, you could still definitely see his full face.
yeah.
well, it's like the thing. Like that's why I respect the fuck out of the Mandalorian. For like the only time the mask comes off is in like pivotal moments. Every other time it's like that shit stays on, and it's like yes, you're not seeing Pedro Pascal's face, but I don't want to see Pedro Pascal. I want to see the Mandalorian, right?
Yep.
And part of that is their culture is the helmet stays the fuck on, and like Halo should have stayed with that, but like it's the thing of like you don't need to see an
But
actor.
no, you need to see the no-name actor that they picked to be John.
Yeah, to be John 117 and see that motherfucker fuck. I don't know. Part of me is
He doesn't need to fuck. His suit jacks him off.
I don't need to see a
I need to see the
humanized
suit
version.
jack him off.
Yeah, that. Yeah, he's in the Pelican.
You
Just
just hear like,
Oh!
he's like leaning there, just going.
He's like convulsing.
like, he's like there, just like, and like you hear Cortana in his ear, and you're and like there's just another
come on,
soldier.
big boy.
Come for me.
Yeah, there's another soldier just like.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Where can I get one of those?
Yo, I need to get into the Spartan program. What the fuck?
Well, like
Hey, man,
even
can I
the
try it
actor
on?
came out because there was like I don't know if it
As
was-
gay?
I mean he is
As a racist?
that
Hey, guys. Mom and Dad, I just have to let you know.
I really
I am a racist.
I've
This
been
doesn't-
hiding it for so long,
I don't love you any less.
but that he was like
He turns to the mom. Well, you a little bit. He's
Son, we've known.
like, you're
like
your
cuts to the
internet
wide
history-
shot of his bedroom and it's just like
It's just like Nazi posters.
yeah. The nobody like in like an interview he was essentially was like I agree that like he shouldn't have taken his helmet off, but it's not my call. Like I'm an actor and I get a script, but I'm
And
also
nowadays, you try to stick to the source material, they'll fucking fire you.
100%.
I think the thing is I wouldn't want anybody else to do it except Tom Cruise, but I wonder if they did remake The Last Samurai today, would they have just like fuck it, whole helmet on and do what you said where it's like the helmet comes off
there
mid-battle,
would have been never mind.
Go on.
No, go ahead, finish your sentence.
They would have turned him into a woman and made her gay.
Right, it would have been a trans lesbian samurai. The last trans lesbian samurai.
I'm not wrong. That's how they would have done it.
I think it depends on who remakes it, clearly, because like
Don't let Disney get their filthy paws on that shit.
dude, did you see? So we don't know for sure. I'm not even watching the fucking show, so I don't give a shit in the long run. But like, did you see they might change the Avatar: The Last Airbender story to where Katara and Zuko get together and not Aang and Katara?
I'm sleep.
That's crazy because who is Zuko's girlfriend?
My
Mai like proves herself when they're in
Yeah.
the jail and she was like, they're about to cut the lines, and she's like,
They do break up after that, though.
Yeah.
but then they get back together at the end.
Do they, though?
100%.
In the comics, I think they're together.
It's canonical.
Yeah.
Like, you see, like,
Well,
the
in Korra,
middle-aged Mai.
Oh yeah,
and
who?
Zuko.
What's Korra?
in Korra, they imply this woman sitting next to him to be his wife. She doesn't speak. He doesn't say her name. Doesn't mention his wife or family besides his nephew Iroh.
I don't know. I have hella respect for Mai. I think she's.
I'm gonna be honest. Like,
She loved him.
I don't think there is a bad written character in the original Avatar.
100%.
Like, actually, like, I might have annoyances sometimes, but it's less about the writing and more about just
Cabbage salesman.
like
best written character.
like Aang. Like, yeah, Aang's annoying, but then you realize, well, he's 12. Like, he's a child. Of course, he's gonna be about fun-loving adventure and whatever else. Zuko, like, when you first start, like, oh, he's kind of edgy, whatever. But then, like, you get the backstory, and it's like every character that you might have a problem with, they explain it away of like, oh, it's character.
Yeah, this is why they are how
and
they
it
are.
makes so much sense for their characters. And then you get like even like characters like Ty Lee, Mai, Azula, even like smaller characters where it's like, oh, these are just fucking. They feel
I wish
real.
they gave. I will say, I wish they gave more backstory to Azula. Like, I know her whole thing was that she was really trying to also
'Cause they
impress
really
her father, but she's also like, fuck mom too, and I'm like, where does that come from? Like, is it that abandonment?
It's from her attachment to strength, I think.
Yeah.
It's
It's the
because the
attachment-
mom.
I just wish they like, again, I'm not saying like it doesn't make sense. I just wish they delved into it because like, other than
From what I can tell, the
Fire Lord
comics,
Ozai, like, they do a really good job with like characters that have like explain how they are the reason, or like the reason why they are.
I want to get into
And-
the comics a lot more because I've read a couple or like seen some things, but like Azula gets like a really good characterization in the comics, and they explain like the mom stuff apparently too.
The mom is. They find the mom.
Yeah, she's alive.
Yeah.
And I want to fully read it because it and isn't that what that animated movie's gonna be about? Is like comic stuff, or is it after?
I think it's post comics because
Okay.
they're young adult.
I want to see that, and I really hope they fucking nail that shit because that's my biggest problem with Korra. At least when I started it, was that like I'm not gonna see Aang because here's the new Avatar. It's like clearly Aang's not, and we get to see him a little bit with like flashbacks and some like, oh, people talk about Aang, so you still get him like in spirit, but like I kind of wanted to see Aang be a badass Avatar.
Well, that's why I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
this tween, the tween, in between.
yeah.
Anime that they're doing.
I'm very interested in
Or
that.
is it a movie?
I think it's a movie.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that because that's what I want to see. I want to see them as young adults. Like it's my favorite part about a lot of like things. Like that's why I like Red Rising so much because like the first trilogy is like, yeah, fuck this corrupt system. It's rebellion. We're doing all this stuff, and then it's like, okay, yeah, he's like 19, 20 in this. What happens in a decade? Like the fourth book is just straight up like he's 34, he has a son, he's got a kid. What are the repercussions of breaking down a government, reinstating a new one, and what happens after that? It's why I love like the ideas of things like Boruto and whatever else are cool. The execution is always like the worrying part. Like I like Korra, I do. But like I definitely was like I would have rather seen Aang as an adult than move on to a new Avatar and see everybody old as shit. Like that's personal to me. I still
100%.
like Korra, and it's fine. But like it's the same reason why like the idea of Boruto is cool and then they fucked it up very fast. Although the new Boruto is apparently cool, like the where they time skipped. But I'm not
I'm sure it is, but I'm not gonna fuck with it.
I was like I'm not gonna try. But yeah, it's like that idea of like the future gen or like what happens after the credits roll. It's always been very interesting to me because like it's the same thing with like Advent Children with Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, what do they do after that? Is there a new evil that comes out?
Well,
or
I think there's two sides.
Evil just dropped.
I mean Deep Ground.
There's two sides to that because like a lot of time I'm like move on, let a story die because I hate sequels.
I mean, with Naruto specifically, the thing that pisses me off is that they obtained peace that they'd been looking for forever, and then it's like, never mind, it didn't matter.
Well, the problem.
Well, I'm just saying, like in general, it's like I want, sometimes I'm like I don't want a sequel. I just want like let it die. It was perfect. You don't have to touch that. And then they're like, oh, so we'll do the story of like grandchildren or kids to keep you connected in the world, but also be able to tell new stories. So it's like I understand the both sides of it. It's like, oh, but we want more of what we loved.
Well, it's like some of it's really good. Like what we were saying, like I would love to see a War of Five Kings thing. Like I'd love to see young Robert Baratheon fight Rhaegar.
That's what we
Like,
all
I'd love to
want
see- yeah.
is Robert's Rebellion.
Like I would love to, or not Robert's Rebellion, not the War of Five Kings. We already saw that. But like Robert's Rebellion, like I would love to see that somehow. It's the same thing with like Nightmare of the Wolf, the Witcher animated thing. It's like I didn't need a Vesemir origin like thing, but I got it and it's fucking cool. Like some things are really good. Some things though,
We already have a young Ned Stark. Just cast a young Robert, and it's golden.
just hire Gendry back.
Yeah, get Gendry in there to be Robert. That'd be so fire.
That's true.
Like
He beefed up too.
Yeah.
just get Kit Harington to be Ned Stark. No, it's one because I agree with you. Like I'm kind of sick of sequels in certain things. Like in the case of like anthology series, like your Final Fantasy, or even like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, where it's like these are their own self-contained stories in this world, but they're not like hard connected to everything else. I'm cool with those, but like yeah, like what you're saying is like I think the idea of like what like multimedia is really good with, like where hey, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you can watch that and get your full story and you're done. You don't have to watch anything else. But we have comics. If you want more, here's a sequel series that you also don't have to watch, unless you just want more in this world. Like that's where I'm kind of cool with it, where it's like, oh, it's supplemental, not like the Star Wars sequel trilogy is a really bad example of it, where it's like, here's more Star Wars that we didn't fucking need. Where it's like, we're gonna take all the characters you like, shit on them, and then, you know, fucking move on and like fuck with the canon. Actually make it like that's a bad instance.
But I mean, that's the same thing of why the Vesemir story, Night of the Wolf, is so good, and like I would also say like Andor and
Clone Wars even is a really good example
it's
of it.
giving you backstory to something you already love, and it just is like, here's the story of this that you know you just hear in a one sentence passing of like when they do world building of like, you know, when the Clone Wars happened, and then they move on. You're like,
What the fuck are you talking about?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, what is the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
And they make a whole TV show about it.
Yeah, no. So it's like I like that because it's adding into the something that I already like.
Like,
but then they're like, let's come up with something new, and then we'll do this, and I'm like,
no. It's that problem of like when things make too much money, because we can argue and say, no, dude, the new Star Wars sucks. They all fucking made $1 billion though at the box office, and it's like, fuck, like yeah, and like I'm honestly, I think
here's the thing. It's like,
I think
with
that's
Star
why
Wars though. It's like, even if I know, like watching the first one, I'm like, I didn't like it, I'm still gonna go every time because it was they released during Christmas. It's like I know I'm gonna go see the new one.
Did you guys see that trailer for The Acolyte, that new show?
I saw the poster. But
The only reason I think I'm hyped for that is because it's the first time that a Star Wars thing has come out that's not tied to the
Something
Skywalkers.
else. Yeah.
Like, it's set in the High Republic era before the prequels, but it's like, here's new Sith coming out, and I'm like, okay, you could fuck this up, or this could be really cool.
Andor's the same way.
Andor is still tied to A New Hope with the Death Star plans, and like,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like, it's still that. It's like, what I'm saying is like, this is before Phantom Menace. This is in. I haven't read too many High Republic books, so I'm not super well versed. So this is gonna be
Darth Revan High Republic?
Old Republic.
Old Republic.
Old, high,
Okay.
current. This is what it is. Yeah. So I'm interested. I'm because it's new shit. That like his Star
Old
Wars.
Republic, New Republic. I am the Republic.
I am the Senate.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm interested for it because it's new. Like, it's gonna be. Yes, it's Star Wars still. Like it. There's some things that you know are just gonna outlive you, and that's Star Wars. I think I'm gonna die before Star Wars dies.
I wanted Death Troopers for so long.
Dude, that'd be so fucking sick.
It would be so good. Have HBO do it.
What if Andor
no.
season 2 deals with Death Troopers?
That'd be crazy.
And
I don't know if I'd like
It's just The Walking Dead for an episode.
See, that's the thing. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Let HBO have it. They've already done The Walking Dead. So.
Walking Dead was AMC.
Oh, you're right.
Which
But they did do The Last of Us, which makes me judge you a little bit because you confused the two.
that's another thing. Last of it, like,
No, I actually thought The Walking Dead was HBO.
Oh.
what is what do you guys like? We all liked the Last
But
of Us show.
I think it was more that I confused that they're both the 3-letter
Yeah.
HBO AMC. Yeah.
I know we all liked the show, but like, what is y'all opinion on stuff like The Last of Us happening, where it's like it's still an adaptation?
The Last of Us is the best TV show adaptation for a video game because a lot of it is just adding context for things in the game that are just like, oh yeah, we find a note and apparently this is what happened.
Well,
they just show it to you.
The entire episode with Bill and being like,
which wasn't canon to the games at all, but it still fit in perfectly. It was great.
well, I think it also.
I mean,
helps.
the end result is the same. It's like Bill's a prepper and he's gay, and
They all end up in the same place, which I think is the important thing. Plus, with having the characters be the same have the characters be the same and have them end up in the same places. I think that's what makes a good adaptation.
Well, actually, hold on,
because
it is different because in the show, Bill and what's his partner?
almost called him Ted. It's not Ted.
But
I fucked Ted.
his partner in the show, they both kill themselves, and then Joel and Ellie get there, and he has to defuse everything. But in the game,
You meet up with Bill and they find that his partner killed himself.
yes, yeah.
Which I actually prefer how the show did it, to be honest. Because
I mean, it made it a lot more beautiful, but
it was also just a lot more tragic in a way too, because there's I don't know, the vibe.
But in the show, you feel more that there's a respect between Joel and Bill that you don't get in the games. They're just kind of assholes to each other the whole time.
But I think that's one of the things I mean, to be fair, they're different. So I'm going to say what I liked about the game was that Bill was just Bill.
Yeah.
Like he was gruff. He was like, ill-tempered. Like that's just who he was. And then you see that this other side of him right before, like at the end, you're like, oh man, like there's this other dimension that you didn't realize. And then when he finds out, he's like, all right, I'm just going to defend you from these zombies, and I'm gonna die because my partner's dead.
I think the thing though that I like about that is that you can have an opinion on which one's better or not, but it still is the same goal of like the message isn't changed.
Yeah,
the tone, it's like the way it's said is maybe different, but like it's still, you kind of leave with the same feeling of like, yeah, this world is fucked, everything sucks here, but like there's little glimmers of kind of hope in small doses. And then like I kind of like I agree with you in that Last of Us is the best adaptation, because like I think if I want an adaptation of something, or like the One Piece live action adaptation where it's like they respected the hell out of the source material.
Do you think the Fallout show is going to be any good?
I hope so.
It aesthetically it looks incredible.
I was gonna say the aesthetics and the vibe are on point. It's gonna be one of those weird things where Last of Us.
Here's what I get. The initial things from the more that comes out. I feel like it's gonna be like a Book of Boba Fett, though.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? With like,
there's gonna be like campy, dumb things that they're gonna.
Fallout is
there's
campy,
dumb shit in Fallout everywhere.
Like that's
my biggest thing is I hope it's more like Fallout 3 in New Vegas, where there's moments of sentimentality in between the goofiness, whereas in 4 it's all just like, go help a settlement and you might get a fucking gun and there's robots running around, ooh, wacky.
Yeah, I because that's the thing, if anyone's gonna be able to do campy bullshit, it's Fallout, because that's kind of the point.
The whole world was campy when it went to hell.
Yeah, so like I think Fallout's the one that could pull it off, because like
that's what I'm trying to say is like I hope that it's like a serious and it's good like that, but I'm worried that it's just going to be like too many jokes, too campy, and then I'm like, I want to like live in this world and not be like, everything's goofy.
I think it would be interesting to switch genre every episode to really get like a feeling of the world. There's like, you have an episode where you're getting chased by ghouls and it's fucking terrifying. And it's like, oh, you're in Megaton and there's a bar fight.
And then the next episode, you find one of those like autonomous drones in a house, and he's just trying to cook you food, and he's like, oh, a new customer.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that's gonna be different with Fallout, because like Last of Us was easy, where it's like we're just gonna retell that story.
Yeah.
Fallout has a problem of like,
they're not
adapting one of the stories.
Yeah, it is canon apparently, and Todd Howard and his writing team apparently were like making sure it didn't contradict shit apparally, even though
but it's going to be like its own separate story.
Yeah, and I like that, but I also am very interested in how it's going to be different. Where when you play Fallout, you are the driving force of the narrative always. You get to decide when and where and what kind of things happen. Fallout, the TV show, is you're seeing another character do it, and there might be times where you're like, oh fuck, I wouldn't have done it that way kind of vibe, because it's like, yeah, that's not my character kind of thing. I just hope the story's good, and I'm expecting campiness because Fallout is campy, but I'm with you where like I don't want it to be just a joke.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I just don't want it to be. My fear is we see something that like I would think is like super dope and cool, and then it turns out to be the Power Rangers on speeder bikes and Boba Fett. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm hoping that it doesn't become.
I think
because I agree. Like Fallout. What's so fun is it is campy. It is goofy.
In a perfect world, I think they'll ride the line.
I hope.
Where it's, they're in a bad situation, there's death claws outside, and then suddenly they find just like a fucking mini nuke.
Yeah.
And then they just play some ridiculous ass music with some slow-mo of them blowing up death claws. That would be fire.
I think it's gonna be that where like the Brotherhood of Steel is gonna be probably the most serious bit because they're so malicious and like kind of fucked up, and then you're gonna have the Vault Dweller with the fish out of water storyline. Because her thing is like, yeah, we're coming out to settle the lands, and people are going, you're a fucking idiot. And she's like, oh, the world's fucked, and it's not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And then you've got
if you ain't from my hood, get the fuck from around here.
And then you've got the Ghoul character who's like kind of, is he the antagonist? Because that's the vibe I'm getting.
I hope not.
He seems to be more of like his own character, where because the guy who's in the Brotherhood clearly is kind of, it seems like his story is going to be, I'm disillusioned by the Brotherhood. You've got the Vault Dweller, who's the fish out of water. I'm honestly more interested in the Ghoul. Like he's the more fun one.
Just the fact that it's Walton Goggins has me excited.
I mean, it seems like because he that it might turn out to be like he was like I mean, the vibes I'm getting is he's like a town sheriff or something like that, and like some Preston Garvey vibes, which I know.
I hope not.
I
want less Preston Garvey and more like who's the Ghoul in New Vegas?
The mechanic.
Yeah, like not New Vegas. 4.
The guy that wears the stupid period gear?
Him, because he's fucking awesome. Like anytime you talk to him, he's just a sarcastic dickhead, but it's
I mean,
always
do you think
funny.
we're gonna get like cameos from like Valentine or something like that? Because I would love that.
I would hope so, especially with the like the celebrity voice actors they've had in Fallout. Liam Neeson would be a good one if they can afford it.
Well, I wonder.
Yeah, he did Valentine, right?
No,
he
Liam
did.
Neeson was
The
your dad
dad
in
in
3.
Oh, that's right.
I guess it depends because where does I need to look it up. But where does this one take place versus the other games?
Yeah,
because I know 4 is 200 years after. Not 200 years. Sorry. It's 40 years after 3, specifically.
4 years or 40?
4D.
Okay, well that doesn't make sense because that one girl shows up from 3 in Nuka World.
Oh wait, no, fuck, you're right. Fuck. That's why I think that they fucked up the timeline because 4 is supposed to. It contradicts both New Vegas and 3 in weird ways. Because you've got Arthur Maxon. He's in 3 and he's in 4. That's their time because now he was a child in 3 and he's an adult in 4. So that's your timeline for those games.
So what, like 30 years? 20 years?
20 maybe. If you go by Arthur's timeline, then yes. But if you go by the girl,
in 4 you can get like the Wasteland Survival Guide and the get purified water and stuff.
So yeah, it's clear. New Vegas happens roughly the same time as 3. Like it's just like
it's just on the other side of the country. I think.
I think it's like a. I think it happens after 3,
but they're never gonna touch New Vegas because there's so much that you can change with all the factions. You can wipe people out off the face of the planet.
That's the thing is, New Vegas is always going to have to be the tiptoe if they ever like have to canonize anything because it's like fuck. Like they might just say
they could touch the DLCs, I think, because those pretty much all
Honest
go one
Hearts
way.
can, and the thing is, Lonesome Roan would be a weird. At the very least, you can talk about Courier 6.
Yeah,
and I've said that.
I'd love to see the Sierra Madre again, though.
Yeah, dude, if that Vegas remaster is real, I'm gonna be so fucking hyped. But
Helldivers
is really fun.
Good.
Have you guys fucked with the mechs yet?
Yeah. I'm level like 33.
I'm still at like whatever we were at last time. The last time
I played the trial of the mechs, but I haven't like unlocked it yet.
I'm at the same level I was at when we played last. I've just been all Final Fantasy since, but I'm interested. Have you seen the thing where people are like, I've been seeing flying bugs, and the devs are going, bugs don't fly.
Yeah, they put out a tweet that was
Yeah, like bugs don't fly. That
the
sounds.
Ministry of Truth says that bugs don't fly. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
They fly now?
They fly now. I need to know. One of these days I want an interview with Joel, the fucking DM.
He's just sitting on a throne.
And just to be like, so what, anytime stuff happened, what was your response to these? He's like, well, when everybody got the creek liberated and they left, I then immediately threw everything at the creek again.
Well, that's the part that I don't like, because if somebody interviews him, he's gonna be like, hey, check this shit out, and then he just fucking back to 0% on Malevolent Creek.
Can you imagine if he ever like nukes a spot, like full on like we get rid of it kind of thing?
Well, what I do love is that, like, it seems like on purpose they are like letting leaks happen.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, because I think they're trying to.
they're
mimic
gaslighting some
realism.
people into thinking stuff's out, because there's the apparently like the blue lasers from space that are like killing people, and people are going, what the fuck is that?
I haven't seen them kill people, but I've seen like the lights.
It's like, yeah, people are going, what is that? You see the flying bug things, and people are like straight
Well,
like
we've
the
been
devs
seeing
saying
for
no.
a really long time the carcasses of the bugs that are like essentially like smaller dune worms that are coming out, and they have these big pincers on the side.
Yeah,
like
the egg
you see
hatchers.
skeletons of those all over, and that was a like the main
That was
boss
the one,
in one. So like those are, you know, maybe we'll come around and
They'll definitely bring those back.
I gotta wonder, because like obviously you got Bile Titans and how big they are. I wonder, yeah, can you imagine like a mission is just a boss fight against a fucking like sandworm type thing?
That'd be
It'd be
awesome.
fucking cool. I'm definitely interested in this third faction, because it's supposed to be like the gray skinned alien looking people, and that's the big like because
for the longest time what was teased was that the third faction was going to be the cyborgs, because the automaton's like symbol is very close to the symbol of the cyborgs, and they're thinking, oh, the cyborgs are making mechs to, you know, and they're sending them out, and because the mechs are like, we're just trying to get to our home world, to Cybertron, but they're like, there's so much going online about speculations and with the leaks of new things. Because what I learned was that when like people were hacking the game and like people were calling in mechs before mechs were in the game, is all it was is you just in like the game code, you just all of like a lot of stratagems are like already in the game, but all they do is just switch out one stratagem for another, and then they can just in the game code just call in a new one. So people were seeing it really early on, but yeah, now we've gotten like the what are they called, like the 3D files for the Illuminate.
Yeah, the character models.
And then there's the same with like
I'm
guns
honestly,
and stuff.
I'm
and-
kind of glad that it seems that most people playing Helldivers, like, because most games it's like, oh, here's the new leaked battle pass and here's the new leaked things, and it'd be all over everything. Most people are like, no, I want to find out as it drops. That includes this third, because like I know people are data mining the game, but the general fan base are not talking about any data mine leaks, because they're like, no, if they're gonna drop a third faction, I want it to shock us.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing with like the flying bugs. People are going like, yo, what the fuck? Or it's the same like when they were like, yeah, the blue lights, and I got sniped by a blue laser, and one of the devs tweeted out, the blue lasers can't hurt you, they're not real, don't worry about it. And it's like yeah, it's shit like that where it's like they're just gaslighting the fan base, like Super Earth would gaslight their soldiers. It was like, yo, Helldiver, I'm so
All
glad.
you need to do is duck and cover.
That's
yeah,
right.
that's it. Just
Spill oil.
Yeah, spill oil, duck and cover. Like, a good bug is a dead bug. Like, we're just
I
propaganda.
don't know
out the
who
ass.
the artist is, but they're the ones that you see that are those like images that are like the poster images that go so hard, where it just says like spill oil. A new one I put on our Instagram story was the new one that somebody made for the Illuminate, and they're like,
That's what they're called, the Illuminate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
So because they in the first game they were like an alien race of like, I think, where they were like tactical. Like, they had a bunch of high tech shit. They could go invisible.
Stand for the Fallen, brace for the Illuminates, liberate our stars.
Yeah, dude.
But whoever does like all these posters and stuff like that,
they're fucking.
They
great.
need to hire them to do marketing shit.
yeah, because
Yeah,
they all
dude.
go so hard, and then when the TikTok edits with the funk, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've gotten
so hard.
my TikTok has turned into just edits because I've been liking a lot recently. Whether it's like
100%.
Red Rising, Final Fantasy, Elden Ring, just any of these things. It's like here's a sick edit, and I'm like, you can the person. It's like 30 seconds max, but it's always like someone worked hours of their life to make this edit as sick as it fucking is, and it's like I gotta, and like I've been getting so many edits just about characters. Like I got the sickest, like scariest Sephiroth edit. That was like it was like a really dark funk like thing, and it was actually kind of like chilling, and it ended with him like in the Nibelheim like turning back to the camera. I was like, oh fuck, I'm like, it's fucking sick, dude. This is so good. No, dude. Helldivers is. I'm so glad of the success it's getting.
Yeah,
because it's like it's a game that like it's so creative of like the players versus the devs almost, where it's like they're gonna constantly put shit out, they're gonna make new missions because they're role playing the idea of Super Earth, making these soldiers like they're playing on your patriotic shit, but because like the lore of Helldivers 2 is that you killed all the bugs in the first game. They were gone, and then the Super Earth was like, "Fuck, we kind of need more resources and kind of need more shit. Let's make new."
The bugs like blood is just gasoline for us.
And so they were like, they literally were like, we have to make new bugs, and so they started a breeding program. They repopulated these things, and they're like, "Oh, the bugs are back, guys. We got to go back and kill them." And they're doing it. Like that's what's so cool about it. And then it fits with the devs being like anything they do fits into the play of like, oh yeah, Super Earth is like I wouldn't be shocked if the Illuminate and like the government of Super Earth have like a contract going on of like,
I would kill for like, we've liberated most of the planets, all the systems are becoming free, and then it's just like some crazy shit happens on Super Earth, and
we have to like fight on Super
you have
Earth.
to fight like bugs, like cybernetics and the Illuminate all on Earth. With like these massive skyscrapers and everything in the background. That would be so cool.
Like that's like one of your big like end of season missions, and then like all of a sudden it's like, all right, you guys think we've protected Super Earth, we're good, and then you go back out and the whole galaxy's fucked. Fucked. But like while you're protecting Super Earth, the governments were instilling new bases, doing things. It's like it's a whole like war for Earth.
My new favorite TikTok edit is it goes like locate and destroy illegal terminate like broadcast, and then the next slide is like
a bug with a microphone.
Yeah, like
I'm stroking my dick right now. I got lotion on my shit.
I'm so horny. Yeah.
Have you guys gotten the like Helldivers getting horny shit thing where it's like the like super hot girl in the armor who's kind of like
yeah, I've seen a bunch of posters.
Yeah. And like there, because like now there's like I forget the name, but they've created an OC who's like this like spokesperson for the Helldivers. She's like this like kind of quirky like shy girl who like is all about we have to kill the bugs and create the automatrons, but all these dudes are signing up to be like, gosh, she's fucking fine.
Yeah. The other one I've seen is really funny is it goes like this is how you become a charger, and then you swipe and then it goes Super Earth is noted like that you have swiped. This is how you become a Hulk. It's like Super Earth. This is how you unlock like stratagems with no cooldowns, and then the next one's Super Earth is noted.
I still love the reviews in the shop.
Oh,
the one my favorite is the 1-star review. Like it's under review by Super Earth Community Board of whatever else for the review. Every other review is like a 5-star, perfect. Good. The 1-star. We're looking at this one. This might be some this might be bug propaganda.
My favorite one is. My wife said it was either this.
It was either this or
I'll miss her.
I'll miss her.
No, she will be missed.
It was like it was either this or my marriage. God, I miss her.
Yeah, she will be missed. So good.
Helldivers is great. I'm glad it's getting success. Like
makes me excited for Space Marine 2.
I'm actually really hyped for that because like the more I see it, the more I know I'm gonna kind of fuck with it.
I hate that I'm like slowly sliding down the slope of Warhammer.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be like opposed to us. I don't know, getting into a lore book or something like.
That's the thing. I want to get into Warhammer.
It's everything we love about an IP, which is like amazing backstory.
But there's
like
so much.
There is.
I know I'm gonna want to play the games, and there's so many.
The thing is, I want to get into Warhammer without touching the fucking miniatures. Like, I want to read books. I want to get into lore.
Well, yeah, because that's the best part.
Yeah. So like, I don't want to paint the miniatures. I don't want to get the board game. I don't want to.
I'm just bad at painting.
Well, yeah,
So-
there's that too. I'm an uncreative piece of shit when it comes to that. So, I want to know like what's a good novel to start with, or what's like a good like whatever. Like, can I start with this game? Like, that's what I want to know, and because like yeah, this Space Marine 2 looks fucking sick, but it's part of me is like, can I jump in here? And can this be my like intro to Warhammer?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again,
Yeah.
like the idea of now playing like Helldivers, where it's like four dudes, 4 people that are jumping in.
Yeah, the inspiration is very clearly there.
Yeah, but like jumping in and just
Space Wizard.
wiping out, and then going to Warhammer, where it's like the enemies are leagues worse. Like the Terminids in Warhammer are like horrific and
I fuck with
massive
the
bugs.
works.
But then you just send in one Space Marine just to
Space King.
just to wipe it out is so dope.
Yeah.
Orcs are crazy.
Did you guys talk about it the last time Flash gets?
Did we?
I don't know.
I think we
watched
it after.
Okay, so was that the last time we all
Yeah.
recorded just in general?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyone watching this, go look up Space King by Flash Gets. That shit is
or their other
furry versus
The furry
crusades.
wars.
yeah.
Like, just honestly watch any of their shit. It's so funny. But Space King was so good where it's like, I want more of this.
Well, so it hit like I think like 15 million views, like something crazy, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for the support." And they put out on their Twitter, and like how you can do like YouTube, you can do like image and text posts. They were like we are now like in production of the second episode of
Hell
Space
yeah.
King. And it seems like they're going to be more long form, instead of like this 3 minutes. They're actually like
Yeah, that one was more of like a pilot kind of proof of concept.
yeah, and it blew up, and they're doing it again. So like we heard you, and it's Space King is coming. So
Love that for them.
yeah, me too.
That-
This is it seems like it's just 2 guys
Yeah.
from at least all the ads we saw.
Yeah,
So-
which again, creative ass ads. Like that's the thing. Nothing about this screamed like, this is what like they clearly love what they're doing.
Especially even though it sucks that they got DMCA'd, but like all the merch stuff went so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm mad that we missed out because
Yeah.
like we're getting into it now. I'm like, oh,
But
that's-
hey, the Space King merch is probably going to be fire when
Yeah.
that drops.
True.
yeah. Go big shout out to Flash Gets. That shit was so good.
Yeah. Let's run through MTAC real quick. So MTAC is next week.
Can't wait.
It is the 30. It's the 29th, 30th, and 31st,
Yeah.
and it's the end of the month for us. 3 days. Got plenty of.
So I'll run through the guests right now. So they was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. They announced the newest guest, which is Tiana Camacho, who
Voices B.
I'm
in
doing
Pokemon.
the voice actor names and the voiceover this year, by the way.
thank you. And what was it? And it's
It's
King Chris. And then we have Sungwon Cho, who was mostly did a lot of like internet.
Yeah, he's done like it's like YouTube,
YouTube stuff.
shorts.
I
and,
remember
like,
he did that series. It was Anime Police, and he had that realistic psychopath gun
is
that could
awesome.
actually morph.
Yeah.
he also one of my favorite videos he's done was that like it's because they're all like 6-second like Vine style videos, but like the one where it's like in a video game where it's like the armor rating versus like what looks cool. It's like finally you've come. What the fuck are you wearing? And he's got like a pink fedora, just glasses. All this shit. It's like it's the best armor, motherfucker. he was Flack in Borderlands 3. That's what I remember him from
He
recently.
was the squirrel in Ragnarok.
Nice,
He was a Gretzko's manager.
Oh,
and she
really?
was an idol. Yeah.
nice.
Then we got Justin Cook, who he's so hard.
Yeah. Kirishima.
Kirishima.
He's so fucking hard.
He is the main character in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Nice.
Yusuke Urameshi.
Yusuke. He is a One Piece character and a Dragon Ball character. I don't know. It's like the small Piccolo.
Yeah.
Small
Dende.
Piccolo. Small Piccolo.
No, a little green.
I know.
And then scrolling through art.
We don't. All Might's not there, right? It's not.
No.
No, that would be crazy.
The main one they have is isn't it the Aaron Yeager
I mean, I would consider David Matronga to be the main guy because he's Wolfwood, Todoroki, and Ken in Street Fighter.
But the other guy you're talking about is Eren
He's
Yeager.
Kirito, Eren Yeager,
And he's
Inosuke.
and
he's
Nagito Komaeda.
He's like one of the most famous voice actors. Like
and Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Eraserhead somebody else, isn't he?
No, isn't he? No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But no, I mean, being Kirito and Eren Yeager alone is like, okay, he's got clout.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, so he's probably going to be like the main guest.
One of them's Eraserhead.
Yeah, the Eraserhead's voice actor's there too.
Okay.
Kanye West, he likes.
So,
fingers
for that.
in his ass.
Yeah. So, you guys will be able
Talk
to do this
to Lee and
interview.
Ezra. So we're either gonna. Ezra was like, we just might make it happen one of the nights at his place, but the rest will just stay over at Lee's, and Lee's so excited to have us, and I'm excited to hang out with him.
I'm probably just because I have to go to the wedding on the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what my travel plans will be like for you guys with you guys, but
Okay.
I want to figure that out after this. But I'll be there day 1 and day 3.
Perfect.
And then day 2 I will be getting drunk at a wedding.
Hell yeah. Are you part of?
No, I'm just going.
You're just a guest. Okay.
Yeah.
You should leave your pass with us.
Yeah.
Because if we need to, we can just be like, hey, Lee, come help us film this panel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
We'd be down with
can
that.
keep my pass, and then day 3 I'll just be like, all right, give me that shit back.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, be on the lookout for the MTAC stuff because I think there'll be some fun videos. Hopefully hopefully we get more interviews than just the one.
Yeah, that'd
We're
be cool
supposed
to
to
get
get 2, but you
all
know.
the My Hero in one panel.
That'd be so fire.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely gonna. I mean, I would assume that they're gonna do a My Hero panel.
Did you guys see the TikTok that came out like 2 days ago where it's Zuko and the Todoroki guy
Yes.
talking to each other?
And they're like, my dad gave me this scar too.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
I love when voice actors can fuck with memes like that. Did you see the one that got me that was hilarious because it made everybody uncomfortable was the Azula voice actress reading incest fan fiction about her and Zuko on a panel.
No.
And the crowd was like, because whoever offered have you seen this? And she goes sadly, and then I think she pulled one up and read a line, and people in the crowd, it was both like, oh, this is funny, but also I am uncomfortable as shit.
Somebody was like, yes.
That reminds me of
someone in that crowd was like, fuck.
gooning in the back. But that reminds me of a personal experience with my boy Garrett. We went to this con in Alabama where the Eggo waffle story happened that night. But it was basically just a My Hero convention where they just got all the VAs they could, and Garrett took all of his My Hero pops to get signed, and he went up to the lady that does Ochako, and he was like, could you sign it as Daddy Deku Uwu? And she goes, absolutely I will. So if I can get a picture of it, I'll show you, but it's just pink marker and it says Daddy Deku Uwu, and then he got that verified with someone that verifies signatures.
That's the thing is
He was signed on the box.
Yeah, on the clear plastic part.
That's the thing with really good a lot of voice actors who get it, because their whole thing is look, we get it, the memes, all this goofy shit, and they just roll with it. I like that way better than the one, because that's my least favorite part about voice actors like Troy Baker. He's a great voice actor, but he takes the craft way too seriously.
Yeah.
And it's dude, you can have fun and be
Let
goofy.
people fucking enjoy your work, asshole.
Yeah, he's an auteur in the voice actor type shit. Whereas everybody else is I'm here doing goofy voices because it's my job and it's funny. Yeah, so
That's one of the reasons why Matt Mercer rocks so much.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get to him in Rebirth because he's Vincent, and I'm so hyped to hear him as Vincent.
I know it's gonna be good.
I'm ready just to see Cloud and him react, because you got Cloud who's the loner, Vincent the loner, and it's gonna be this thing of watch their cutscenes, they're just kind of standing their arms crossed, but just sitting there in silence, and then later be oh, Vincent's weird, right? Cloud's oh, he's actually pretty chill. Everybody else is I'm
gonna take this motherfucker's clothes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to our sponsor, Dubby.
Big shout out to W. They've been getting me through a lot of work weeks recently. I posted
dope.
on my Instagram story. I was just yeah, I'm dying, and low key the Peach and Beach has been keeping me stable.
It's so fire.
It's the best one for early morning drinking.
It really is, actually. It's
So
my
then,
it's my
you know,
favorite of the ones.
Later in the day, a little punch.
Yeah.
I've still got
Galaxy
I've got
Grenade,
like
something like
two. I've got about 2 scoops of Dragonade left, and then that one's gone. But
The
I've got-
Dragonade is fire.
yeah, Dragonade has been really good. Peach and Beach is great. The punch one's really good. What's the other the cream one? The
Orange creamsicle.
yes, that one's also really good.
Well, if you want it, and
If you want it.
if you want it, you go to w.gg and use code TakeItSleazy, all one word, for 10% off your order. So thank you, and as always,
Take it sleazy.
I need to get some new W soon.